Welcome you all to the last day of International Virtual Workshop on Research Article Writing and Publications in High Impact Journals, jointly organized by Laboratory Club India, Trust, and Malaysian Industrial Association Malaysia. Course, Professor Dr. Sridhar Bukya, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Ghana, President Malaysian Industrial. The speaker Institute of Education, Hippocampus, Malaysia. Now we're moving on to the first resource person, a person from Telangana, who completed his postdoctoral fellowship from International Institute of Information Technology from Hyderabad, Telangana. He did computer science from University of Hyderabad and completed MPhil Computer Science from Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai. And he took double MDel course from Osmania University and Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Rajasthan. Fellowship and the National Fellowship. And also he published many articles in Scopus in this journal. We feel delightful to invite Dr. Sridhar Bukya to this scenario. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, madam. My voice is audible, madam?
Yes, it's audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for all organizing of the international virtual workshop, members and all the dignitaries of all. So I am going to discuss today my time and how to publish the SCI and Scopus paper, Science Citation Indection paper. It is most important for the papers to publish the our research part. So we need to see that how to publish the paper and what are the indexing paper of that journal. We need to see that all. So let us go through all the parts. So our outline and of that my presentation is that. So I am going to discuss regarding the research publication part, and I'll discuss regarding the what is the Scopus and what is the Scopus publications and what are the type of Scopus publications. Is there fake or it is genuine publications in the Scopus or not? We will discuss in that part. And the other one is how does Scopus cover all the types? So when Scopus, is it every year going to cover, or what are the criteria in that part? We will discuss in this part. I'm going to discuss. And science citation index and Scopus, what exactly they are going to consider with these criteria and how to evaluate that paper valuations and all. And we will see that value of the Scopus indexed journal, all the things we are going to cover from my presentations. And let us see this what exactly in the research publication. We are aware the research publication, that part. So research is what part of the scientific information publicly available. So that data should be brought into the society. So what you have the idea that you can see that what existing paper talk about that particular idea, and you can see that what is the scope of that paper. We need to bring and incorporate to that part to bring into that available to the society. So that we need to see that research publication part. And that what exactly it will allows us to rest of the academic audience to the generation. So evaluate quality of research, quality of the paper publication, quality of the research, quality of the method, quality of the algorithms, what are the methods you have been used, what are the types. We need to see all the perspective to that to publish the paper. So there are the different type of paper publication in that part we will discuss. So there are the different type of various publication like scholarly journals, like we have these professionals, trade publications, and popular general interest magazines. These are all the publication is worldwide it is happening. And moreover, we are aware that research publication, what we need to see that, and what research publication exactly look for that. So we need to see that part of that publication in that part. So we can see that there are that two three types of publication. Like one is conference where we will look into that major area of computer science or engineering science, any engineering science and medical science, like that. So and there are the other type also. We can see the books publication also. So conference publication we can see, and the journal publication we can see, the book publication we can see that, and other one is magazine related publications we need to see that. Now let me discuss about the conference related papers. So conference has there are the involved, there are the n number of conferences organizing. So basically in that conferences, what exactly we need to see, that is the theme we need to see. Theme is related to the subjects. So organizing of that conference, what exactly that area that they are trying to organizing that conferences, that is the most important factor. So let us see that we have to see I'm in engineering streamline. Like can see that I'm in working in the engineering in my artificial engineering. If I see that, I will look into that in India or worldwide as where are the conferences organizing, and I need to support for there to publish my paper so that I can interact them to many people, so I will get more knowledge from that. So that purpose only people will gather a particular place for particular theme, particular subject, so that they will aware that what exactly work is going on and what we need to that. This kind of sharing of ideas will be happening in the conferences. So that is one idea. So see, theme and subject are very important in that concern. And the other one is organizing a particular conference, also one of the major criteria. So in if you see that in Indian context, we can see IEEE conference, finger conferences, and other ACM conferences and PAKDD conferences. Like these are the conference who are going to organizing, also very important in this concern. Like we can see IEEE conference organizing in India, that will be more valid in that part. So we need to publish that our domain and that area will be matched into that part, that will be more valid. So that will be published and that will be will get the credit into that part. So organizing IEEE anywhere that we has the standard quality, they will has standard regulations and all the part we need to see. And IITs also there are the some standard papers where they will look and they will publish the paper. INITs, IISc, Bangalore, like that, they have a standard criteria. They will go for standard publication in that part, as well as they in the conference they will go for the proceeding also. Proceeding is one of the related to the journal paper also. So parallelly, they are organizing IITs, NITs, and any other organization going to that. They can have their publication with the proceeding also. They can release the proceeding with book wise. So that is also one related to that. We can equal weight of the journal paper. So that is proceeding. They can release themselves only. And whereas journal paper can have standard publications, like we can see that Elsewhere Journal, Springer Journal. Inter Science Journal, they have the different type of journal publications, like there are there. So we need to see all the publication in the conferences in that part. So we will see in that. So research paper can be published with the different types. So one is we can go through your paper short communications. One paper you can have the published with the short communication paper. Another paper, other one is where you can go through the review paper, and the other one you can go through the research element paper, and the other one is you can go the full length paper you can publish. So these kind of papers will be you can publish in the any conference like that. So let us each one how they are going to communicate and what we need to criteria is there. Now if you see the short communication paper, it has the lot longer work into that part, hot topic running with that. So we need to discover that part, and we need to publish 3 to 4 pages in that part. That will come into the short communication of that paper. So that is used to call as short paper also. So if you see that in this pandemic situation, corona, there are we are not aware that corona existing to before of 2020 March. So there are the many research scientists are working in that part, that the number of publications are happening in the short topic and related to the discovered the like corona disease related any disease. So anything come into the part of hot topic related, that scientifically if you are ready to communicate with paper with a smaller length of the paper, that will be communicate, and you can publish the paper with the short communication, as well as you can talk about the short paper also. So any conferences also they will offer the short paper, short length papers. So that is coming to the part of short paper communication. Another one is that review paper. So review paper is has very important, but that it has the lot of scope. So what we are going to scope to cover with all the things. So it is the review paper also come into the part of the journal paper also we used to call. So it has a smaller contribution for that part. So you can paper with the bring into that one review paper that will come into the article. So you can have the question to all the answering with the existing things. So you incorporate all the things you can publish into that part. So contribute, you are trying to contributing to the article something into that part. So that will come into the new field to that. So that is come into the part. So here we need to see that what do the review article in that part. So one is that providing a comprehensive foundation on the topic. So you should aware that. So what are the type of your topic is going to cover? Suppose if you artificial intelligence, there are number of algorithms are using in that. So the machine learning, the deep learning algorithm. So what are the type of your algorithm is exactly working on that particular mapping that or particular area of that or particular topic into that we need to cover in that part. So comprehensive foundation on the particular topic of that area is also one of the important. Like if you see that latest in that corona is will be affected on the lungs. So how do you identify the particular corona affected in the lungs? In that part, if you apply the machine learning algorithm to detect the scanning of that report, that will be coming to the part of that. So you should go through that all the details of the part, and we need to cover all this. And the other one is talks about the current state of the knowledge are you providing in that paper or not. So we need to see that case also, and identify the gaps of existing work and what exactly they have studied and what potentially will you incorporate that. You can see that future of the research scope in that paper also incorporate into the review paper. So this is very important. We can see that, and highlight what are the methodologies you are trying to propose and what are the technologically you are bringing into this and technique you bringing into that. So review paper is more important than short paper. So that is coming to the part. And the other one is element of research. Element of research is a bit bigger than the earlier paper. So what exactly we are trying to, so we have this some sort of the regulation to follow. So title of matching with particular area and how you are going to fit. So you need to search the whether it is title is matched with existing any title with or not, we need to see. And the abstract, we need to see that abstract will with it is there or not. We need to see that what is the level of that abstract you are trying to prepare. And introduction part we need to incorporate, and literature we need to see all the details part. And what are the objective of that part, we need to see objective of study, objective of details, we need to incorporate into that. So here you should propose some sort of the methodologies, existing methodology, and we need to see that what methodology we are trying to apply, and that will be effective in the more results. So that will be that apply should be where. So methodology part we see that in computer science part we can see the best algorithm. So algorithm should be work into the complexity related. If you talk about this, see that complexity algorithms, complexity is one programming is running, one algorithm is running with the 98%. If you propose a new methodology with that algorithm, it should work 78%. It will be more effective than existing work. So like that we need to propose the algorithm that. So result and analysis part we need to cover all this, and conclusion part, references part, we need to incorporate all this. So element of research should be follow all the buzzwords. So as well as we need to see that these all will be following by the journal papers also. And the other one is talks about the full article. Full article is we used to call as journal paper also. You are interested, as you are interested, we can publish in the conference, as well as it will come in the part of the full paper in the journal paper. So full paper has minimum, and it is not, we can't say that minimum, but it should be longer number of pages. So more number of papers we are going to publish in that particular journal or paper, that will come more effective in that. So what exactly we are doing here, this describe the methodology in the details way. So we need to incorporate all the detail, elaborate result, comprehensive decision part, we need to incorporate full length paper, article details, study and reporting organization, and the research conducted by the author. All the details will be incorporated. Almost it will be, as per my knowledge, we can have the 40 to 50 pages of that particular article that will come into the full article. So you can see that full article will be, it should be the free article. So like that. So you can publish the free journal. So if you see that full article, if you see the full article, that will be like this. It should be free. So it should not be paid with the cost. So if you see the click in the free full article journal, you can see all the journal. You can see and you can download that paper. That paper you can go through all the papers. So this sample paper is taken by the PMID. Okay, PubMed. So publisher with that PubMed, and we have taken the sample of that full length paper, how it will be like that. So you can see that free article, full article you can publish, you can download. It may be 10 pages, it may be 15 pages, it may be 40 pages, but it is depending on the your work. So you are defining the longer of length of that paper also come into the part of that. So we need to see that the full length article will be available in the as well as conferences, as well as like that also can be available in the like extension version is available in the journal also. So that will be free available. You can see that, you can publish and you can see what exactly they have journal. So we are looking for the more focus on the journal selection paper. So journal paper, how you are going to publish. So conference paper, everywhere every organization is going to organize, whereas journal papers are very important in that concern. So how do you select the journal paper? We should ask the questions into that part. So a journal can be two types. One is journal papers can be, one is paid journals, and another one is unpaid journals. So paid up the journal doesn't make any senses, because if it has the money, if you have that 10 to 15 pages or more than 15 pages, if you pay that money, paying up that one journal comes to know that doesn't have the citation score, and it is not more effective for the generation. So that paid journals are more not valuable. So unpaid journals are, it is used to call as free journal. So free journals are more important for the generation. So future any work coming to the free journal, download the free journal paper and you can publish the paper. So that has more influence into that part. So that is coming to the part. So how do you select the journal paper in that? Whether you are going to publish papers in the paid journal or unpaid journal, you have to select it. So decide yourself whether you want to publish paid journal or unpaid journal. Paid journal can be published within 2 to 3 months itself. So very as soon as it will publish in the paid journal. Whereas unpaid journal, it will take 3 to 1 year or 1.5 years. There are many revisions will be there in that part. So unpaid journals has revision, 2 3 revision, maximum 4 revisions will be there. The reviewer will be comment on that particular paper, so that we will incorporate again. We need to send that paper to that particular reviewer, so that again he will go through that, and it will taking time process. But unpaid, the free journal are more has the more important in that part. So how do you do for unpaid journal? Free journal has indexing in that part. So indexing part also one of the major criteria. So we are talking about that journal has to be indexed by the particular journal. So how do you decide that indexing by that particular journal, which indexing that? So indexing is very important concern. So one is that we are talking about, so major we are focusing on Scopus only. We will discuss Scopus and science citation indexation, how you are going to decide yourself whether it has a Scopus or not, Scopus publication or the paper that are that particular journal is indexed by the Scopus or science citation indexation or not. We need to find in the level. So that is one criteria. Another one is as well as part of that journal. So free journal, we need to see what is the impact factor of that particular journal. So that is important in that part. So this impact factor also one of the important. If you see the Thomson written has a paper with publication with below 1%, it is 0 to 1%. It has lot of like impact factor. It means that compared to paid journal has even 10 impact factor, but it has one impact factor equal to that one. So free journal has lot of value, and impact factor is very good in that part. That's why it is free journals are very important. Everybody comes to know that. If you tell that journal only, they will come to know that okay, is paid or unpaid, we will easy to analyze. And the citation score, how do you go for citation score, whether site has the score, particular journal has a site score or not, we need to see. And H index is also, we need to see that part. So these are all the last slide, we will explain this all, how you are going to calculate all the things. So that is one. So while going to publication the paper, how you will take the decision for this? So it is talk about the 360 degrees perspective important in that part. Any area you can go through that, any areas, and you can see that whether scope of that particular area, you can go through that, and you can have that research a part of that scope of that part, and what is the important of, you need to incorporate that one. So we need to see the 360 degrees of perspective important of that particular research in that part. In that part, what we need to see that, so discipline of that particular area. So if you see that agricultural area, medical related field, or engineering related field, business related field, so which is suitable for that part, we need to see the discipline of that particular publication, public journal, like that. So we need to see the area we are going to fit into that part. So that is also one important. And the data source is primary data source you need to collect. So there are the two type of data sources should be gathered. So data sources gathered by the non-engineering candidate, gathered by the primary data source, whereas in engineering technology, people will be gathered the secondary data source. Secondary data source is available in the internet, but whereas primary data source is available in the data which is gathered by the lively in the sense, go to the village or go to the city and collecting all the data. So that used to call as primary data. And we are talking about the secondary data. Secondary data source, it is available in the benchmark data, it is available in the data set in the online. So download the benchmark data set, and you can go through this, and you can comprehensive the data, compare the data with other data, and you can come with a over idea. So visibility, you can see that what is the visibility, acceptance, rejection of the information, what exactly we need to see that decision we need to take. So literature review, what are the useful in to find that particular paper. So the scope of the paper, scope of the research, you can see that based on the literature review. So reviews, you just see that many papers see, and what is the scope, and you take a decision with this, and what are the impact factor, what is there in that. So these are all the criteria we need to see the decision taken by the 360 degrees. So that is idea. So databases, now it is lively, it is available in the database sites, and we need to see that whether where it is exactly it is there, all the data is now available. So if you see the Altrich web data set, it is general data set for the periodicals across the all the discipline. So you can see that website, this website, you can search all the details, so it will be available, it will provide all the data for us. So that is there. So data with the topic wise, which is publication, which scopus or not, all the things it is there. Next slide, I will going to cover with this. So directory of the open access journals, so DOAJ, that community online directory peer reviewed journal or not, we can see that. So this is site that is organizing peer reviewed journal, open access journal will be available on that. So that is coming to the part. And the scopus we need to talk. So Scopus has lot of information which is standard rules and regulation with this. So our aim is that we are going to cover the Scopus indexed journal only. We are targeting today's presentation. Let us see that the target abstract citation database for the review literature or not, we need to see. And we see the Web of Science. So Web of Science, it is organizing by the science citation indexation global citation database, it is maintaining. So Web of Science is one of the database maintaining by the online site, and the other one is academic data set. So it is also available. Science citation index also available. So it is cover more than 2000 9,000 notable scientific journals are published in that site. So you can see all the data. Now you can see that selection by the peer reviewed journal. So ultra rich ways, this tool will there. I have given this. If you once you click that, so you see the all the details will be provided with that site, particular site. So it is the information will be there. You can see the publisher, who is the publisher, what is the audience, what are the focus on that they have focus whether it paper is reviewed or not, peer reviewed or not, scope, indexed of that abstract, and what is the level impact factor, what is that. These are all the information will be provided by this site. So that is coming to the part, and that we can see the all the details will be there in that. So that is coming the part. So now we are aimed that we are talking about a Scopus journal perspective now talk. Now if you see that this background with all the will be there. Now see that we will more concentrate on the Scopus journal. Now how do you decide the Scopus journal? Now see that Scopus journal is launched by the 2004. It is not new. So it is launched by the November 2004, and that is initially they started at the largest citations. So the paper publication, once you go through that, they have gone through that citations and the peer reviewed literature they have gathered into initially. So they have gone through the tracking with all, and they have analyzed it, and virtually research part they have initially gone through this. But initially in 2004, they have received the number of papers very less, and they have reviewed with given the Scopus journal score is less. So paper, some sort of the paper has given initially, and later they have gone through the Scopus become quality. Later the years after 2004, they have gone through the quality of research standard, and they have indexing with the journal papers, consider the reflection and the quality of research paper they have brought into the society. So that is advantage for this. So quality of research only they have gone through this. So that is one advantage for this. And the Scopus of indexing journal consider the quality of higher scientific research quality paper they have gone through this. Now still it is available, like PubMed doesn't have the Scopus indexed, like EM basis doesn't have the Scopus. So we have the Scopus indexed list of journal only available, and that Scopus indexed journal, once you publish into that, it has a lot of weightage into that. So it is important. So how do you check whether a Scopus indexed journal? This link is providing with us. Once you see that elsewhere in that part, what are the Scopus list of Scopus indexed journal with elsewhere. So you can see that what exactly it is looking for the scope. So it helps for increasing visibility of your publication for future use. So visibility of your publication, what exactly you are trying to bring into the next generations, like what is the level you have gone through this, what is the result you brought into that. So these are all you can see that in increasing the level of your capacity, all the things it will come into the part. And you should see that give the access by the global audience to the scope for the next the people has to come your work, and they should work, and they should brought into the new idea. So providing the access to the global audience. So that is one, they will see that importance of that Scopus. So they track the performance of your publications. It means that, so once you publish in the Scopus indexed journal, so how many of their they have referred your paper, and they have cited by your paper. So you track your performance of your publications. So you have gone through your good work with that to publish with the Scopus. So Scopus, the people will be they will incorporate, or you can they cite it with yourself, so that you will be you have a higher score into that part. So that is one important for us. And the monitor the competitive publication, that whether you have the more number of like citations, then you have your work is good in that part. So likewise, we need to see the scope of the scope for help that. So that is, so it has a limitations with the benchmark data sets. How do you decide that whether a particular journal has a Scopus indexed? How they will check? So once they give the approval of a particular journal with Scopus indexing, so they will see monitor every once a year. So what exactly they will monitor in the, so they have the benchmark link. So once a year they will monitor Scopus analyzing the performance all the journal in the database. So which is providing in the database will be monitor particular journal journal paper has database has performances, and all journals must meet at the matrices benchmark. So they have some sort of the condition whether the particular journal journal paper is match reach that upper level or not. So that should be look into that part. And if journal does not meet in that particular benchmark, they will in the suppose a 3 years of benchmark, they will consider the 3 years of benchmark. Even from the 3 years, 2 years, they will see that consecutive of the 2 years. If it is not reached that one, that will be flagged into that part. So that it is flagged that by the people of independently they have flag and that they will approve by the content selection, and advisory board has to approve to promote for, or you can give the approval to the Scopus indexed journal, indexing to Scopus, like that. So there are every year, every journal people has to go for approval every year, because they will look into that part whether they will reach or not. That is the criteria. So it is called as matrix and benchmark data. So what is the criteria in this? In the what exactly matrix is there? So self citation rate they will see. Any journal papers we are going to organizing, or people are have the journal papers, they have to see the citation rate of that. So how do you calculate the rate of them? I will tell that next couple of slides. And the total citation rate, how do you calculate the rate and the cite score? So these are all the criteria important to publish the citation index. So these are all the kind of criteria they are going to take care. So in non-paid journal, we are talk about the non-paid journal has a lot of scope, and it has very good reputation to publish the paper. Now we see this computer science related area. It list of non-paid. It is officially elsewhere paper is published with ACI journal with the Scopus indexed in computer science engineering in 2021. So I have provided link also. If you see this international journal of this computational vision and robotics, so this paper it will be indexing by the science citation index as well as Scopus index. Why it is means they have every year they are going to reach that their benchmark data. So citation part or that download part, all the criteria they are looking into that one. So they have to see that covered different type of areas. If you see the early visions, different types. So area, computer vision, AI application like computer games, and likewise we need to see the area of that journal going to cover with this. Another example is International Journal for Sensor Networks. So sensor networks is sensing. Now it is one of the challenging area, sensor networks, and how the computer science people are working in that part. So energy efficiency, energy and efficient protocols related that. So sensor has you can see the any mart or any mall anywhere, you can see that sensor has a limitation that. So energy efficiency, energy efficient protocol, how it will work, what are the applications. Likewise this area is covered, and they will see that the publication type and the citation type, all the criteria they will go, and they will see that whether it will reach or not. They will see that Scopus indexed publication. Now you can see that we have the different type of publication categories. There are the number of research categories, but few of the limitation. If you see the chemical sciences, field of chemical science, biological science, medical science, likewise, if you see these like architecture, computer, like computing, information science. So more number of publications are happening in the journal papers only, because the chemical related people are more concentrating on the journal papers. They used to publish with good reputed journals only. So that's why this data is talk about the 95.7% of chemical researchers are publishing the papers into this part, whereas conference paper is very low for this. So if you see that any chemical related papers, conference paper is not going to organize. So likewise, so if you see this any area of that, like book also, book publications also, it is very rare combination to publish the like related. So like that. So if you see this computer science, if mathematical science or any engineering science, if you see the engineering science, 52% of journal paper they used to publish, as well as 45% of conferences are also available in this world. So it is data, it is brought into the worldwide, it is not in the India. So computing related and information related has 32.8% of publication are in journal papers, which is related to the good SCI in the Scopus Indexed Journal. But whereas conference papers are published in very higher, so organizing more conference are in that area. So this is the one image that talking about the limited areas. So there are more number of areas into that part, but we are not covered with that. So if you see this, and the see this Web of Science, one of the Indian in India, there are University Grant Commission is accepting the Web of Science, giving the more importance to publish the paper in the Web of Science. Now if you see that Web of Science, like you can type into the Google into that part Web of Science paper, you can search the your area, and that will be covered into that particular science citation index or not that paper, or it will be published in the Scopus Indexed Net. So because Scopus Indexed has some standard regulations, so whether it will reach or not, if you see that one, so emerging sources of citation indexation, but it is not a Scopus Indexed journal, it is talking about the emerging sciences only, it is not science citation index paper like that. So we can see and we can observe that what are the type of papers they are people are publishing in that. So this is the paper title, and the paper title with publishing with citations people. Now you can see this paper published with elsewhere paper, it is very good paper, and this paper is published with the science citation index, and that is expanded version. Expanded version is latest version we used to call as. So likewise, we need to see this paper is come into the part of Scopus Indexed as well as Science Citation Indexed, which has the more influence into that part. That paper is come into the Science Citation Indexed as well as Scopus Indexed. Once it is there in the Science Citation SCI paper, that will come automatically come into the part of Scopus Indexed paper. That will be indexed as usual. So Scopus publication, if you see the more number of is small figure drawn this, see that 10% of elsewhere. So more number of publication will be from Scopus from elsewhere. See the 8% is from Springer, and Valley has 5% likewise. So we have the Scopus indexing by the different type of publishers. You can see that IEEE has 1% only Scopus indexed publications. That will be come into the part of journal paper with IEEE. IEEE transaction will come into the part of Scopus like that. So there are the different type of publishers. So more number of publishers from the elsewhere only. So like that. So Scopus preview. If you see this Scopus, whether it is Scopus indexed or not, you see the Scopus and type your related area, and you see the journal name also. IEEE transaction with a if you see the citation score 44.2%, how you are going to calculate, I will explain this how you are going to calculation this part, so that doesn't matter. And the highest percentage of that, so 99% of that part applied for the applied mathematics related that. So number of citation for past 3 years like that. So up to 2020, what are the citations, and what are the number of documents downloaded and citation score like that. So these are all information provided by the Scopus review. So if you see that things, and the other one is how you are going to see that impact factor of that particular journal. As we said that we have already discussed that paid journal has even more number of digit with impact factor. It doesn't make any sense, whereas a free journal even less, one below one impact factor also, it has more important to that. So some sample of that some journal names with impact factor as like that. So if you see the see this acto, this has 25 point we used to call as it as paid journal. Easy to identify that free journal doesn't have that much of impact factors, so that we used to call it these are the paid, so like that. So we can easy to assess into that part. And the other one is we used to talk of any but heads or G indexes. So how do you calculate whether H index and G indexes for our papers publication for that particular site? So one way is that how you calculate H indexes. How do you? So H index is your author H index is calculated by himself only, and G index is calculated by the correlation of the total number of citations. It is related to the user, author, and this citation. How do you calculate? Let us see this. And the another way is look into the impact factor of H index. How do you see that citation of particular academic or the researcher? H index it will look. This will be how you are going to calculate, and G index how you are going to calculate. Let us see in this part. So these are all important. These are all calculation. Will we go through this? Now you see this. One example I brought into the year. Suppose if you see publish the journal with paid with impact factor 5, other journal has 10, other journal has 15 impact factor. Now if you see this, unpaid journal has indexing scopus as well as IJ science citation indexing journal. Now if you see the International Journal of Science and Technology, IJST, International Journal of Science and Technology journal, if you see this, total number of publication a particular year, 100 paper publication gone through that particular year. But whereas only 25 members of that paper, 25 papers only cited by the people in that year. So what we need to, how we are going to calculate this one? Total number of citation by total number of papers. So that impact factor is 0.25. That is come into the part. So that is it. So we have impact factor. How you are going to calculate? So total number of publication is 100, and the total number of cited from 100, 25 papers only cited that. So 25 by 100 is 0.25 only impact factor of that one. So that is one idea. So all the indexing like Scopus index, cited indexing is we need to call it like this. So impact factor here I am talking about the impact factor 5, 10, 15 doesn't matter. But here even impact factor of Thomson written even 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 1 below 1 also it will be more value than this paid journal. So it has very important than paid journal. So that is one. So if you see the site score every 3 years, suppose site score, how do you are going to calculate? Takes 3 years of citation score, site score, that is G. So G, how you are going to calculate? Suppose take a 3 years of that particular publication. If you see the from the 3 years of publication, they have the 3 years from that part. Take 1 year particular. So remaining 2 years leave it, and 1 year particular part you see that total number of 300 paper published, 200 papers are cited back. So that impact factor is that site score is 1.5. So total number of paper is 300 cited, and total number by the like that. So published total number of publication is done, and the total number of cited by the 200. So that it is impact by the 1.25 of citation score, like that. Likewise, we need to see that H index and how you are going to calculate. So 1.5 the site score, and H index is going to cover how you are going to calculate for a particular author. So particular author. Now if you see there a particular author has 5 papers. Now paper 1, 2, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5. Now if you see that we have the type of publication. Now first paper has only one citation is there. Now second paper doesn't have any citation in, and the third paper which you have published with that, it has the 3 publications, 3 citations. It has 3 citation, and the fourth paper which is cited by the four, and the fifth paper cited by the 4. Now if you see this, only this is one is not mandatory, but if more than one you can consider this. Suppose 3. So from 3, so 3 citations are each in that part. So H index will come into the part of that 3. So that is come into the part. So 3 is a H index of particular author. Likewise, we need to calculate the indexing, which is the journal is indexing a particular journal. We need to see an impact factor of that journal. We need to see that to publish, and what is the citation score and the H index score. These are all criteria to see all the scopus indexed, whether it is there or not. So likewise, we need to see one graph is saying that So H index is publishing with different type of authors with the rank. If you see that whether it is visible, I don't know, but you can see that there are the numbering. So unique number will be provided for every authors. So once you publish the paper, so that unique number will be assigning that in the internet automatically. So that is coming to the part. So particular author, suppose one example, if I say that I am the author, I am the Sridhar Bukya, I have published a paper with a person. So I have the unique number assigning the internet in the internet automatically. Unique number will be provided. Again, if I publish the paper, that unique number will be automatically assigned that part. So that is there. The system, it is there, built by the database. So database has your name, particular name. You should be name, same name. If you put like that, so unique number will be assigned, and that unique number you can draw the graph also. So future you can see with number of you have the co-author graph also you can see in the internet. So that Google also it is providing for that data. So you can see that with the total number of authors, co-authors with you. So that is also there. I found that one paper has 100 authors also. One paper has 100 authors. I found that. So I have gone through details on that. So like that. So if you see that, so P, that is that rank of that. So see that this person has 100 rank. Likewise, and the other one is a particular person with numbering has 258. So likewise, we need to see that H index is a particular author referred total number of cited by particular paper. So that is one. So now in Indian context, if you see the total number of journal paper the government is going to consider. So in University Grant Commission, they especially looking on that whether the paper public quality of papers is publishing or not. They will see that. So Science Citation Index Journal, whether it is your paper is publishing SCI journal or not, they will see that. So that is quality of research looking for the IITs, NITs, Central University, and major institutions. Like, so if you have the Science Citation Index paper, so that you have the more credit than others, like that. So if you have the Web of Science paper publication with the Web of Science, so it has a very good reputation with that. And the that your paper is also come into the Scopus indexed journal with that journal. So you have the Scopus indexed also, it has more influence to than other journals. So there are number of fake journals in the society now. So they doesn't 1 year they will take approval for the Scopus indexing, but next year they won't reach that their benchmark data. So that the next year they won't provide for the indexing, but fake they used to they will take approval, like we are providing approval like that, and publish the things are happening like this. So this is one. And UGC care list journal is also important in this. So these are all the in Indian government is concentrating on this kind of papers has lot of weight like this. So if you see the Science Citation and Web of Science, Scopus indexed list of web links and not paid journals. So there are, you can see that in the Google also, you can go through this. If you search this non-paid type of journals, but it takes time, but it has more value, more impact, and more reputation to the society. So that's why, so always we need to see that high value and the high impact factor journal we need to publish, and our work should be very competitive. So it means that contribution should be very strongly. So if I say that in computer science, if I say the computer science perspective, that we need to see that what is the contribution of that work, what is the algorithm you are proposing, whether that proposing of algorithm, what you are trying to extend that, and what are the results you are trying to. So if I see that one particular algorithm has the reach that what is the accuracy, and see that other algorithm what is the accuracy of that result. So if I compare with the 2 4 5 algorithms, and if my algorithm will be run with more efficient than any algorithm, so that will be more effective, and that type of research will be future generation. So likewise we need to see that the paper should be have quality of research, quality of publication also one of the important into that. So our contribution always look into the indexing by the whether the standard journal or not. We need to see whether it is Scopus, whether it is Scope Web of Science, whether it is ACA. So these are all the mandatory criteria. We need to see all these perspectives. So these are all there. So these are all my contribution. And uh, so time is T3. Yes, this is my contribution. I'm in talk, and I have gathered less data because we have examination busy and other things. So that today only I have spent all the details and I have I gather all the data. Thank you so much for providing opportunity to me to present here. Thank you so much, sir. In,
Okay, it's time to raise questions. If you have any queries, you can ask.
yes, please. Yes, madam.
Okay, I'm thinking so there's no question. So anyhow, thanks
Madam,
15.
yes, I'm special thanks to all the participants because I'm in India, I'm in Hyderabad. I don't know. Really glad to the opportunity comes to me. Really, thank you so much for giving the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation, and you gave so many information about how to publish an article in the Scopus in this journal. So it's so very for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.